Hey FlossTube, welcome back. It's Leslie with Fat Cat Flossing. Today is, cat on trying to hutch. Today is Monday, December 24th. It's been a minute for me. We've had kind of a long break. The last video I did was on November 30th. I didn't look to see what number this is, and it's, sorry. We've had the winter solstice, and all my girls are starting to go into heat. And they're the worst bunch of bitchy females you've ever seen in your life. So you're going to hear lots of in the background because they're all crossways with each other. It's like working in an office full of PMSy women. At least that's what my husband says. But anyway, we've had a challenging few weeks at my house. The reason I haven't been back before now, I had a GI bug the first week of December. So I kind of skipped that week because I didn't feel very good. And then I guess going on 3 weeks ago now, no, 2 weeks, I don't know, it's all run together. 2 weeks ago, 2 weekends ago, Steve developed severe abdominal pain, and I tried to get him to go to the ER, and I tried, and he wouldn't do it. And finally, after being miserable for 24 hours, we ended up at the ER about 6 o'clock Monday morning. And after a bunch of testing, they decided he needed his gallbladder out. And so they did that on Tuesday 2 weeks ago. And he is doing much better after his surgery. Unfortunately, he is apparently also has been an undiagnosed diabetic. And between that and anyway, long story short, he has what's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It's very severe. He also has, because of that, type 3 cirrhosis. We'll be seeing the GI specialist on the 3rd, I think, to follow up with that. But he's home. He's doing much better after his surgery. The plan is for, knock on wood, for him to go back to work on Wednesday. He still has some physical restrictions, but he's feeling better. Of course, he's had a huge change in his diet and all that kind of stuff. So that's been challenging, but we're getting through it. I appreciate so much all of your prayers, all of the private messages and emails and Instagram messages asking where I was and if everything was okay and checking up on him and us, and especially all your prayers. Please keep the prayers coming. He's going to have a long road to hoe with this because he's got significant liver damage. But we're just going to put our trust in the Lord and do the best we can. So, but please know how much I appreciate all your prayers, and please keep them coming. But no, I'm going to stop talking about that before I get upset. Kitties, for everybody who's asking about kitties, Mama Cat, Beanie, and her 2 little girls are doing great. The babies will be 4 weeks old on Friday. I think I put a small video up on Instagram on Friday or Saturday. They're doing great. They're toddling around. They haven't started eating solid food yet, but they look like kittens now, not little white rats. And probably later this week, you know, the end of this week, the weekend, whatever, they'll graduate into the playpen, and I'll get some more video then. As soon as Mama decides she's a little stir crazy and she's kind of done with it. And once the kittens start coming to me when I open the crate, and they're starting to do that, then that's kind of my, clue that they're ready to graduate into the playpen. So they're doing good. And all the other kitties are doing good, other than everybody is in heat and bitchy as hell. Okay, so there's the life update and the kitty update. So let's talk about a little bit of stitching. I have gotten just a raft of Christmas cards. And I'm not going to, in the interest of time, I'm not going to go through all of those, but I do want to say thank you so much to all of you who sent Christmas cards. Between one thing and another, I did not get Christmas cards out this year. But know that even if you did not get a card from me, that it's not that I didn't think of you, because I absolutely did. Just our family circumstances kind of got between me and getting it done. I had other priorities. I pretty much lived at the hospital for a week while Steve was in. I came home to feed animals and went back. And then since he's been home for the last week, I've spent all my time with him. And that's my priority right now. Anyway, I do want to mention one Christmas card. This is from Crystal and her family, including her son Caleb. So Caleb, I want to say hi. I sure liked your card. And maybe one of the kitties will come up in a little while to say hi to you. And if I can get one as they run by, I'll show you a kitty. But anyway, thank y'all all so much for the cards. I got a couple other things I want to show real quick. This is a card from Melanie Smith, and her channel is Melanie Smith Yarns and Threads, I believe. She sent one of the prettiest cards I have ever seen, this little cardinal. I just love it. It's three-dimensional, and it's just really pretty. And then handmade in her card were these embroidered tag ornaments, which are just so special. Melanie, thank you so much for thinking of me and including me in your Christmas list. I know those had to take a while to do as many as you did, and I am appreciative of your time. I think it's beautiful, and hopefully next year I'll have a tree up and we'll get it on the tree. Another one of the many things that fell by the wayside this year. And there go the grumpy cats. And then I got something else. And this was not a Christmas card. This was, I did the Quaker pumpkin pattern several months ago. And when I was done, somebody had passed that pattern along to me. And when I was done with it, I just passed it along to a lady named Laura. And Laura sent me the sweetest little thank you note. And this gorgeous 1/1 scissor fob. Isn't that beautiful? It says friendship grows, and I just think it's stitched beautifully, it's finished beautifully. Laura, thank you so very much. I sure do appreciate it. And now, 3 or 4 weeks later that I have shown it, I can put it on my scissors. Thank you. I think it's beautiful. And I will think of you when I see it. And then the last thing I want to show, kind of stitchy kindness wise, was on the day that I came home after hearing that Steve was going to have some really long-term health issues. It had been a shitty day, and I'm sorry for the profanity, but that's the word that describes it. And I came home and I was very upset and very scared. And I went and picked up the mail, and there was this big envelope in there. And the sweetest lady by the name of Cathie West had seen on, I don't know if she saw it on Instagram or if she'd seen it on my Facebook feed or from one of my videos, but she knew that I wanted to do The Flock by SamSarah, which is a series of, I think, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, yep, 12 patterns that make a beautiful, this is the overall design. Of course, it's not shown in the color here. But what it says on there is, faith is the bird that feels the light when dawn is still dark. And to me, that defines the essence of faith, is believing without something tangible to see. And Cathie, these came at the perfect time. Thank you so very much. I will be stitching these in the new year. I kitted some stuff up yesterday, but I haven't got these done yet because I have to find the right fabric for it, and I don't have that. But your gift certainly touches my heart. It sure is appreciated. And again, just thank you. You're special, and no, I'll be thinking of you when I stitch it. And also, she included in that package a number of other patterns. And she said that if I was not going to stitch these, that I could feel free to pass them along. So some of those, when I've had time to go through and see what I have duplicates of and so forth, will probably be giveaways. But again, Cathie, thank you for your generosity to me and from sending those other patterns where I can give them to other folks. Thank you. Okay, now, before I get too sappy, let's talk about some actual stitching. Well, before we get to the stitching, let me go ahead and do haul. And I'm going to do this real quick. I got December's Victorian Motto sampler threads, both the primitive and limited edition flosses. As usual, Nancy, they're gorgeous. I had also, and this has been killing me because he's been sitting on my table for 2 weeks and I haven't gotten into him. I got the Kindred Stitcher editions and the Primitive Stitcher edition, and I can't wait to get into those and look at them more closely. They're just beautiful. Y'all, if you have the chance to get one of her gift boxes of floss, do it. Her floss is gorgeous, and it is an excellent value because it is the same price for that 20-yard skein of her hand-dyed floss as it is for a 5-yard skein of Weeks or Gentle Arts or Classic Colorworks or whatever. It's a great value. And then my Fabric of the Month club is, I never can, Needlecraft? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'll link it below. Anyway, I get a Fabric of the Month from them, and this, when you've been in the club for 12 months, on the 12th month, you get a free fabric. So I got a fat quarter of 28 count, I'm pretty sure this is Lugana. Yeah, 28 count Lugana in Legacy, and a fat quarter of 28 count Lugana in Regency. Now, I didn't plan well because since the time I joined this club back in the fall of 2017, I've decided I want to stitch on 36 count. So I have, I don't know, 10 or 12 of these. I have started a D-Stash Instagram. I think it's Fat Cat Flossing D-Stash. I'll link that below too. But I'm going to be putting up all this 28 count. It's beautiful fabric. It's still in the package. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just I've decided I want to stitch on 36 count. So I'll be listing those shortly. And then seems like I had to order some floss, some Whisper. And because, you know, I don't want anything to travel alone. I've fallen in love with Cathie Haberman's Little Smalls, the A Year of Celebrations, and there's 12 of those, and I do hope to get those done during 2018. We'll see. You know, it never goes like I planned, but that is my plan. We'll see. Pardon me while I take a sip of water. Okay, what I stitch. Well, my stitching was a little disrupted too, but I did get some stuff done. I finished this on, I don't know, around a week ago, give or take. And I'm showing you the copy because I'm just too lazy to page through the book to find it. This is 'Tis the Season from Blackbird Designs from their Home for the Holidays booklet. This particular one was stitched by Ann Thompson of the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. Ann is a wonderful person. It's a wonderful shop. I'll link it and her contact information below. If you ever need anything, she's wonderful at doing mail orders. I am right at 2 to 2.5 hours depending on traffic from Little Rock. So it's not unusual for me to pick up the phone and call her, and she just mails me what I asked for. She's terrific at doing that. But I did finish 'Tis the Season as charted. Now, I didn't use any of the call for flosses. These were all, the white is just DMC B5200, and the rest are all an assortment of Victorian Motto flosses. I'm very happy with the way it came out. Now, hold that picture in your head and look at Ann's version. Ann's version has this little border up here and the border down here with the holly leaves. And I think that I'm not going to call that quite completely done until I add those borders to it. The catch is she copied these borders. This pattern has been published twice, in Home for the Holidays and then in another book by Blackbird Designs. That was, I think, an earlier issue date. She copied these borders from other patterns in the book that was the earlier issue date, which is the one I don't have, of course. So I'm going to be on the search for that book because I think I want to add the borders to it. But I wasn't going to find the book and get it done by Christmas, so I've just put this. So it's a semi-finish. It's a finish, whoops, upside down. It's a finish of as charted, but I think I'm going to add those borders to it. I think I would like that a little bit better. So anyway, it's probably going to come back out in 2019 to get those borders. I just have to find that book so I can get the borders out of it. because I figure I could actually look at it and probably chart it myself. But that's kind of cheating, so I'm going to see if I can find the book. If I can't find the book, I may try to fake it, but I'm going to try to find the book. So that was kind of a semi-finish anyway. Y'all, I got stacks. My stacks have stacks sitting around me. Big bunch of floss. Through the generosity of so many folks, y'all know I have been wanting to do the little sheep virtues. And I wanted to do them all as one, like Nell from Little Yellow House Crafts did. I just fell in love with her version of that. And I had a number of people that shared, oops, got stuff sliding, shared the patterns with me, and somebody was kind enough to send me the link for the layout and the borders for that. And I had that started. I had the borders done and like the faces on a couple of the sheep done when Steve went to the hospital. This is the center pattern. And it says, sheep in the meadows singing their song softly and sweetly all the day long. Okay. And then there are 12 other little patterns that go around it. I did get a significant portion of this stitched while Steve was in the hospital, because, you know, he just kind of lay there and was miserable, and I sat there and worried and stitched. And I've gotten everything done on the center panel, with the exception of the wording. And I think that I'm going to change that wording, and I may do something like the Lord is my shepherd, or there are several spiritual quotes from the Bible that have to do with shepherds. So I may change that. I haven't taken the time to sit down and chart that out, but I am done with the center panel with the exception of the words. I did the sheep in Whisper. That's why I had that order from 123 Stitch. And I did, these are all Victorian motto flosses, just they're not the called for flosses. My other little mini finish was, this is supposed to be the July block, the 7th block. I changed around the order from what the called for order was for a couple of reasons. Let me see if I can find this one. Sorry, I'm disorganized. I used to be organized. And then that went to hell in a handbasket. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere here in this stack of crap. Anyway, for a couple of reasons, while I was in the hospital, you know, sitting there in the hospital with Steve, I decided that the right one for me to stitch at that time was Faith. And appropriately enough, the little sheep on that particular pattern is a black sheep. Now, my birthday is in July, and I have for my whole life been somewhat of a black sheep, the one who doesn't go along, doesn't get along. You know, I'm the squeaky wheel. So I thought the black sheep was appropriate for me for July. Faith was appropriate for the time in our life. So here's my little mini finish of Faith from Little House Needleworks. Little sheep virtues. And I did something a little bit different on the sheep here. I don't think you can see close up enough. He's got supposed to have a little garland around his neck, and I did some French knots for that garland. It was just charted to be in the pink. But anyway, so I have an almost finish on that center panel, just needs the needles, and a little mini finish over here on the July block. And I'm rearranging some of the other blocks just depending on what calls to me for that particular one. And they're not named like January or March or February or whatever. They're just, you know, that's the order they were released in, I guess. But I'm going to make it my own. My massive amount of floss back in here with it. And I have such a massive amount because I got up to the hospital and I was working on these, and I think I needed a pink or purple. I don't remember yet. And I didn't have a pink in there. So when I came home and loaded up all floss, I just stuck a big passel of floss in there because I wanted to have what I wanted to do. And then the last thing I have worked on is Oh Beautiful, which is a kit from Shepherd's Bush. It is absolutely, I saw the model of this at the Silver Needle in Tulsa, and it is one of the most beautiful pieces of stitch work that I have ever seen. This was my New Year's Day start for 2018. And I'm doing my dadgumdest to see if I can finish it before the end of the year. Now, I may not get there because I did not have a whole lot done on this. I had, the last time I worked on this, I had from this row of the little reddish color up here, down through, I think I had this row of the white work, the little top row. So this past week, I have added the white work here, these 2 rows, and then the 1/1 verse. And I have added the white work here, this piece that's kind of flag looking, that 1/1 verse, and then these flowers. There is not a whole lot of cross stitch in this. Main cross stitch in this is the panel in the center, and then there's this one, and then there's one more little block down here that is mostly cross stitch. But really, the vast majority of this is specialty stitches. So I am probably 50%-ish done. I don't know if I can get done by the end of the year, but I'm going to try. Now, having said that, Nancy from the Addicted Sisters, her birthday sale starts today, and I want to do a new start. I'm not very good at sticking to, I'm just going to do this. But my plan is to work on this as much as I can. We'll see if I succumb to the lure of a new start or not. My main problem with that is I spent yesterday afternoon while we were watching football kitting up stuff, because kitting up is, I'd like to just have everything appear in front of me ready to stitch. I don't like kitting up. Excuse me. But I did spend yesterday afternoon doing that, and that may have been a mistake because now I want to start everything I touched. So I'm going to show you what I've kitted up so far for 2019. There will be additions and deletions and changes. You can just count on it because it's me. But here's what I got going so far. One of the first ones I'm going to start, this is a freebie pattern, so I'm going to show the pattern. This came with an order from somewhere, maybe Jen Stitch and Niche, but I don't remember. It came as a freebie with an order. This is from Heart in Hand, and it says, Love Lives Here, and I would actually like to get this done before Valentine's Day. And I've got a little piece of 40 count. It is a lakeside linen. It's kind of a pinkish taupey tan color. That color is not real true. I don't know. Close. And then I kitted this one up in silks because it doesn't call but for a few colors. And I've got a couple of Carrie's Creations. I've got a Krynic. I've got some Dinky Dyes. And I've got a Swat Alger. I got a grab bag here. So anyway, this, if I give in and start something today, it's probably going to be this. And this should be a fairly quick one. But my plan is to maybe start on that. We'll see. I may succumb to temptation. What are the odds? This is how I'd like to kit up everything. This is a little scissor fob from Shepherd's Bush. I picked this up one of the last times I was down at the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. It's called the Sweetest Stitchers Fob. And it's just a very quick, easy little gimme thing. I felt obligated to include some smaller stuff because I want to do all the BAPs. All the BAPs. Here's another small one I pulled out. Again, best kind of kitting. This is, somebody had posted this on Instagram, and I thought it was so cute. I love watermelon. It's my favorite fruit. And this says, A Slice of Summer. And this was a custom frame. I'm going to see if my mother-in-law can make that. If not, it won't have the watermelon frame, but, you know, c'est la vie. This came as a kit with the threads. This is a piece of, I think, I think it's 40 count. It may be 36, but I think it's 40. And this is, somebody had gifted this to me. Tammy, was this you? I've slept since then. It's been almost a year. I don't remember for sure. But when I had made the comment that I wanted to see if I wanted to stitch on 36 and 40, somebody was kind enough to send me a couple of little swatches and this little piece of, I don't know what, it's a hand-dyed of some variety. It's just big enough to do this on. So thank you for sharing that with me. I'm going to be doing that. This is Bovinia from Plum Street Samplers. And I actually had her kitted up. She was a market release last year, and I had her kitted up already. Which, yay, one less to do. This is a 36 count R&R winter brew. And I believe these are mostly the call for threads. Maybe not all of them, but mostly. So, hopefully I'll get Bovinia worked on a little bit this year too. Hey, catching stuff in the zipper. Okay, now we get to the stuff I actually had to work at yesterday. This is spring delivery, again from Plum Street Samplers. You may see a theme. I love that horse and that rabbit. I think it's such pretty colors. I've got a piece of, this is 36 count Sandstorm. I'm not entirely sure who the dyer is on this. She abbreviated it SS. That doesn't click with me right now. And I pulled threads yesterday. I had some of the call fors, then I've substituted in others that I did not have for, which was also the theme. I've got a boatload of Victorian motto, and I used a lot of it to get this stuff up. Because it's beautiful floss. I should use it, right? Now this one I can blame entirely on Michelle from the Striped Rose. She was showing this sometime last year, I think. And I fell in love. This is from the book A Cross Stitch Christmas Celebrations and Stitches. I think I got this on Amazon for less than $10. I don't remember exactly now, but I think it was less than 10. It may have even been 5 or so. This is Low a Rose. It's a beautiful Christmas sampler. That picture does not do it justice. Go look at Michelle's videos. It's a ways back on that one, but beautiful. This is a piece of 36 count Picture This Plus Murmur, which is a very pinky, peachy, lightly modeled fabric. I think it'll be beautiful on there. And in this one, I kitted up almost entirely in Victorian motto. I did not have many of the call for. I've got a couple of Weeks Dye Works, and then a couple of DMCs. But again, I'm doing whatever works. I'm really going to be on the Stitch from Stash bandwagon this year because we're going to be paying off a boatload of hospital bills. So, Stitch from Stash is the word of the day, or words of the day, I guess. This is a book that I picked up from, I think, Teresa Vanette, Kitten Stitcher. It's called Tending the Garden by Blackbird Designs, and most of it is quilting stuff. However, the reason I bought this book of mostly quilting stuff is this pattern, which I think is gorgeous. I love, I'm a pink girl. I love those flowers, and I like brick houses. This is called My Grandmother's Garden. And Lisa from Kindred Stitcher had mentioned that she's going to be stitching this year. So I'm going to be stitching this also. So Lisa, I don't think you probably watch my videos, but if you do, let me know when you want to start. So I have got this kitted up on a piece of 36 count Edinburgh Tycho, which is a pale neutral with just a little hint of gray. You can see just a little bit of the gray modeling running through it. And again, I did where I had the called fors, which were Gentle Arts, I used those. If not, I substituted in some Victorian Motto or whatever I had. And it'll be gorgeous one way or the other, right? Oh, and this is in my one of my really pretty bags from, oh shoot, Cheryl McKinney, Tranquil Stitches. She makes beautiful bags. And I'm using the zipper finder. Oops, I forgot to put my Low as a Rose back in the right bag. One moment. Un momento, por favor. Okay, moving right along. This one, and I don't have a picture because a friend lent this pattern to me and I've made a copy, and I didn't copy my printers out of coloring. But I'm going to do from Blackbird Designs. This is a book that came out in around 2005, I think. The Souvenirs of Summer book. I'm going to do, I think it's called Summer Jubilee. And I've got those pulled. This is a piece of 36 count, Picture This Plus Haunted. I really like that fabric. That's pretty true. Might be a shade darker than that. But got that one kitted up. When I feel the need to stitch on something patriotic. And you know, there's no way in hell I'll finish all these this year, but I'm gonna stitch. I was surprised, and maybe depending on how things go, I may have a video next week talking about my finishes for 2018. But I counted up last night, and I think that as of right now, I've got 29 finishes for 2018. If not, I'm, you know, plus or minus 1 or 2. But I think I have 29. So we'll see if I get that many for 2019 or not. This is Little Brick House from La Di Da. And I had an order of stuff coming from Julie McConnell at Reflections Framing and Stitching. And she had just posted this on Instagram. And I said, hey, that is adorable. If you happen to have it, please send me a copy of that. And she did. So, super cute pattern. And again, you know, brick house, pink flowers. I'm in. This is a piece. This is from Misty Purcell, Luminous Fiber Arts, who started dyeing fabric within the last 6 months or so. And she does a beautiful job of it. It's a very pale, buttery yellow color. And I pulled almost, I think, all Victorian Motto for this. And I think it's going to be really pretty on there. Another one I can't wait to start. All this stuff I pulled out yesterday. And I'm like, oh, I want to start that. Oh, I want to start that. I want to start that one. Yeah, I can't start them all. I got other stuff to do. This is only 13 I kitted up yesterday. Only. So many more I want to start. Excuse me. Oh, Lord, 33 minutes. I got to kick it in gear here. Speaking of Julie McConnell, last year she had posted her conversion of Fractal Flowers. And I think this is a very pretty pattern. But her conversion is done on Picture This Plus Murky, which is, of course, a darker fabric, with some, I think they're just more intense shades. Now, this is, I called Julie and I ordered her conversion of, because I think it's beautiful. It's pretty anyway, but it's gorgeous done in her conversion. I can't share her conversion. It's her conversion. But if you call her, she will be happy to pull those flosses for you. Anyway, I'm planning to do Fractal Flowers at some point this year. Emily C. Is doing, I think she's doing Goat Load from Plum Street Samplers as her birthday start on March 1st. Well, I bought, I think, 3 of these when they came out at market last year, and I've gotten 2 others. And I think I have no cross stitch at all hanging in my kitchen. And I think I'm going to do these all in a line as one piece, starting March 1st with that. But I didn't pull flosses for it because it was just going to be a goat load of flosses. And I have multiple fabric choices that I haven't narrowed it down. This is 36 count vintage metal rue. This is a fabric from Kimberly Tuttle of Hand Dyed Happiness. I'm kind of leaning into that one. And then this is a silk weaver fabric of 36 count French Vanilla Swirl. So all in the same neutral tones. I'm kind of leaning towards the middle one, but we'll see. And I'm going to pull the floss and lay them out on those and see what they look like. But that start is planned for March 1st. And again, I doubt Emily C. watches me, but if you do, I'm planning to start that with your birthday, Sal. Don't worry, the end is in sight. Y'all know I love me some Shepherd's Bush, right? I'm gonna finish that. Oh, beautiful. This is Easter Notes from Shepherd's Bush. Really cute little pattern. That's a very small pattern. It is, well, not very small. It's 46 by 77, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Please don't eat that, Rosie. There are 13 colors in this 46 by 77. And I decided I'm going to go my own way, to quote Fleetwood Mac. This is a piece of fabric from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. It is a 36 count even weave, and I think it's probably Lugana. She doesn't specify. It doesn't feel, it's not quite as soft as Jubilee, so I think it's probably Lugana. But I pulled a more intense color version because I want them to show up on that pink than what it's charted in, because it's charted on a light ground fabric. But anyway, hopefully I'll get this one started, and it may be Easter 2020 before it's done, but you know, I have a plan. I do have a plan. I'm rarely able to stick to it, but I do have a plan. And then last but not least, see, there is an end. It is inside. And I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs having a conniption fit outside. I think my neighbors have a new dog, and every time he's out, there's just a bark fest at my house. This is, I've been planning this one for a while. I meant to start it this fall, and time just got away from me. I didn't get it done. This is Love Never Fails from Barbara Anna. It is a beautiful, beautiful sampler. Julie McConnell from Reflections Framing and Stitching was kind enough to kit it up for me in Carrie's Creation Silk, so I am doing this in silk. Really pretty colors, and I love silk. And I'm going to do it on, I think this is vintage, yeah, vintage navy bean, a 36 count vintage navy bean. This is my New Year's Day start. And I was talking to Crystal, and she is also going to be doing she had a terrible story about how she had done a wedding sampler for her and her husband and dropped it off at a frame shop, and the frame shop closed without ever notifying her, and just poof, her work was gone. You know, she wasn't able to recover it, which I think I would just be willing to shoot people. But that's just me. Again, I'm that squeaky wheel. I'm not a nice person. But anyway, she wants to do another wedding sampler. So I told her I was planning to start that one, and so I think she's looking for one that she's going to start. So we're going to do a Love Your Significant Other wedding, anniversary, loved one stitch along. And I think we're going to start on New Year's Day. I'm not sure what the hashtag is going to be, but y'all are welcome to join us with that. If anybody else is stitching Love Never Fails or any other type of wedding or anniversary sampler, we'd love to have you join in. And I will hopefully, we'll see, be back next week and have some more information about that. But that is going to be my New Year's Day start this year. And then just about the last thing, here's some stuff I did not get kitted up. Here a peep, there a peep from Brenda Gervais. Again, on my list of things I want to do. V is for Valentine from Heartstring Samplery. Y'all need to watch Beth Twist if you're not watching her. Another Barbara Anna. The Christmas is Coming. Santa riding that snail. I meant to start this year, and I just, time got away from me. Hello, Summer from Plum Street Samplers. This was Pass the Stash from Christine of Stitch All the Things. And I want to get that kitted up because I would like to, again, pass that stash along to the next person. And then because I have no good sense. Sarah Chapel, 1831, from Shakespeare's Peddler. Teresa, our own kitten stitcher. I've read this verse before to y'all, so I'm not going to read it again, but it is an absolutely beautiful verse. And it is an absolutely gorgeous sampler. So, you know, 20 years from now when I'm done with it, you'll be able to see. But that is also in my plans to get kitted up and started. I would love to do this one in silk. We'll see. It's charted for DMC. We'll see if I rob a bank and can afford the silk. But if not, I got to set a DMC. But anyway, oh, crumb. I forgot to find the winner for this. This is my giveaway from a couple weeks ago. It was supposed to be done a couple weeks ago. I am so sorry, y'all. Just life has been, it hasn't been a, you know, bowl full of cherries around my house the last few weeks. And I just forgot to do it. I am so sorry. I will continue that giveaway and pull the winner, and I will be back probably sometime next week. I'm going to shoot for New Year's Eve. We'll see. But go back a couple, or to the last video to see the details on what you need to do, because I don't even remember what I told you to add, you know, what I asked you to say. I think I wanted to know whether you were a season, I think that's what it was. I think it was whether or not you were a seasonal stitcher. So comment there, or you can comment on this video also about, are you a seasonal stitcher or not? And I'll enter you in the drawing for, we'll just do the random comment picker thing, for Welcome Spring from Brenda Gervais, which is an adorable pattern. That's all I got. 42 minutes. Longest video I've had in a long time. Oh, I hope my internet speed is not dead slow today, or it'll never get uploaded. But thank y'all again so much for coming by to visit and chat with me. I've missed you. I'm so sorry I hadn't been back in the last few weeks. Hopefully, I will be a little bit more on the ball. Right? Cross your fingers. Y'all say a prayer. My hubby's got all his follow-up visits on the 2nd and 3rd. Y'all say some prayers for him. I appreciate all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed Christmas. Enjoying your family and all the goodies that Christmas entails, but also just, you know, in the spirit of the season. There's a reason it's called Christmas. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.